Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable.
Oh, yeah.
Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable.
Banner 18.
J. King, Jam, Packard, and the B-Rob.
Still Poddable, still Poddable.
The Jay-Z, White, and the Catalog.
Still Poddable, still Poddable.
The kids, the legends, the gods.
Still Poddable, still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable.
Oh, yeah.
I just have to go to a bathroom.
Welcome in to Still Poddable. I am Sam Jam Packard, joined, as always, by Jay King from The Athletic, coming to you live after the Celtics complete the series victory over the Heat, completely dominate them 118-84. They win 4-1. This game was not close at any point. Hit that song, Jay King.
Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby, let's go. You motherfucking Celtics, let's go. Let's go, Celtics. Don't know why. Hero dressing like Jamiroquai. Let's go, Celtics. What's that guy? Beat the Heat until they fucking cry. Let's go, Celtics. I said, let's go. Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh, that wasn't the latest version.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the game.
That was the old version.
That was the
We
old-
got to do it again.
Okay.
Motherfucking Celtics.
I fucked that one
Let's
up.
go, baby. Let's go. You motherfucking Celtics. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I said bring their necks. Beat the Heat and show them no respect. Let's go, Celtics. My tarot deck shows Jam's next date will be wet. But let's go, Celtics. I said let's go. Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby, and let's go.
Wow.
Wow. This guy's a talent. This guy's amazing.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, but I don't want to know. I like he's a mystery man.
He really
That's
is.
fantastic.
And he just comes with fresh material. That time he was talking about your dating life, I believe.
Yeah, obviously I didn't listen to last night's episode. I missed Sixers Knicks because I went on a date with a girl who believes in tarot cards.
What the fuck are tarot cards?
It's kind of a mysticism, future telling. It's like a weird deck of cards. Believe me, I had a lot of regret about it. As I revealed on last
Why
night's
didn't you
podcast.
take her to a sports bar or something where you could watch the fucking game?
Jay,
You're a rookie. You're a rookie.
There's a lot of questions I should have. Yeah, a lot of mistakes were made. A lot of regret last night.
Where'd you
That's the
go?
past.
Where'd you go?
Focusing on the past. We're going to focus on
Where'd
the
you
future. Into a bar.
With no fucking TVs? What the fuck is wrong with you? I feel like every podcast I just get super disappointed in you.
It's been a bad series for the Jays respect level of Jam. Enough about me. This isn't about me. This is about the motherfucking Boston Celtics. Let's go. Dominated just this game from start to finish. Just the Heat had absolutely nothing. A horrendous game for Tyler Hero. And that was just a delightful to see from my perspective.
Yeah, I thought Jaylen Brown got the Celtics started off just on an awesome foot. He came out and scored instantly over Hero, and then just he didn't force it. Like they went to him time after time in the first part of the first quarter. They went to him in the post a bunch, and he was just drawing defenders and kicking it out. Or if the help didn't come, he was taking advantage of it. I just thought he got him started, and then Derrick White got rolling, and then Tatum joined the party. And that first quarter, it was like just an absolute bust. I felt like a regular season first quarter when they were just kicking that stretch, when they were just kicking the shit out of everybody. And the Heat really had nothing for them.
The Heat had no answers. They tried to bring in Haywood Highsmith. He immediately picked up 3 fouls. That was a lot of fun.
That was a Mikey Moore. I don't know if too many Celtics fans will get the Mikey Moore reference, but Mikey Moore used to come off the bench and instantly pick up 3 to 4 fouls within 30 seconds.
And that's exactly what Highsmith did tonight. I mean, it was like a decently close game. They had that awful review of the foul. Basically, DeLon Wright fouled Jalen so hard that he hurt his face, and they reviewed it. Did not overturn it. I thought that was a clear bad call. Hero somehow got a tech on that.
To shame Matt Reynolds afterward for losing a first quarter challenge. Ran into him in the hallway.
Well, that's good fun. But the Celtics immediately went on 11-0 run after that. Then they tried to bring in the Heat tried to bring in Kevin Love, and that was just like elder abuse at that point. Just absolutely. Tatum torched him, put him in a pick and roll, torched him again. I think they left Hauser wide open for a three, and at that point, it was 41-23 in the first quarter, and at just no point did the Heat ever really make this game at all closer. And I thought the Celtics, I think you have to give them credit for just being methodical and maintaining that 20-point lead. Obviously, the Heat were down even more so without having Jaquez, and so just had a shorter rotation. But at no point was there even a sliver of a Heat run or like putting plays together. The Celtics were just executing on both ends of the court for pretty much, I would say the first three quarters. It turned into not a real game in the fourth quarter as soon as Svi checked in for Tatum with about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, and that was a nice bonus to get guys an easy night. Tatum played 32 minutes. Jalen only had to play 26. Get them some rest. Now they get to wait on whoever wins Cleveland versus Orlando. Next series might start Sunday, which would be nice period of rest to begin with. Might start Tuesday, which would be even more rest. So it's rare. It's been rare over the last few years for the Celtics to have a short series. But this one, especially with Porzingis out and the possibility of adding mileage on Al Horford's legs, I think it's important to kind of just get the Heat out of the way, do it quickly. And I thought after that game two, when Miami just really lit up the Celtics from 3-point range, and not only that, but just walked into a lot of open shots, were able to create a bunch of 3-point attempts. Celtics just really business like the last three games, just really treated it like they should against a shorthanded Heat team.
And I thought it was interesting after the game, Tatum brought up last year and how they fucked around with the Hawks series and how this year feels kind of different in that they kind of went out of their way not to do that, not to relax. Some of it had to do with playing the Heat, and obviously there's a rivalry there, and obviously they have to step up, and there's like respect there. But
do you know what he said last season in the first round against Atlanta?
That they have to respect
that
them.
They had learned their lesson the previous year from playing long series.
Some lessons take longer to kind of set in, but it felt like they learned their there was no shenanigans after game two. It was just like three very dominant performances, win by 20, hold the Heat to under 90 points. Like that is just exactly what the Celtics needed to do.
And I don't want to say that was a wake-up call for them, but they saw maybe where their scheme was vulnerable in game two and just totally shut it off. Just the Heat had 3 3-point makes in game five. They had 21 3-point makes the entire series. That's outside of the 23 in game two.
That's a crazy stat.
So it was like they decided top down that they were going to stop the 3-point arc, and the rest of the series just fucking gave up nothing. And that's how it should be against a team without Jimmy Butler, without Terry Rozier, that's kind of starved for creation. Tonight was without Jaime Jaquez, but I just thought the attentiveness there and the level of detail that they showed, when realistically they could have fucked around and probably still won, they didn't do as much fucking around.
No, there was zero fucking around.
Don't fuck around, fuck them up, is what I say.
Do you? This is the first time you've ever said that.
That's what I say.
You're an idiot. It did feel like they were just trying to kind of abuse Tyler Hero tonight, who had a bad performance. I think he was 0 for 5 in the first quarter, but like they were kind of surgical and they're just kind of dissecting. And I thought they did a good job of attacking him one-on-one and getting to the basket, but then also whatever the Heat tried some zone, they figured that out. They just played great basketball, dishing the ball around. There's just one play that stuck out in the third quarter. It's like they showed 2 to Tatum. He got the ball to Drew, immediately kicks it to White in the corner for 3. It's like even in the third quarter, you thought maybe the Heat come out and give this one last-ditch effort, but the Celtics are just like, no, we're going to keep playing, I guess, Celtics basketball. And the offensive execution, I just think was like great from them. And I don't know what adjustments the Heat can make at this point.
No adjustments left to make. No adjustments left to make. I thought it was interesting after the game when Jason Tatum said that they had to be honest with themselves and like tell themselves what other teams were saying, which is that you want to be tough against the Celtics. You want to try to be the tougher team and muck things up. And I think that's probably is the book on them. Like you can force them out of making good decisions. You can force them into playing ugly basketball. You can force them into that. And this series felt like the Celtics' first step toward trying to be that tougher team on a consistent basis.
How do you define toughness? Because Jason Tatum doesn't like other people's definition of toughness.
Toughness is just being who you are, no matter what the other team fucking does, and operating at a high level.
So you
no
don't
matter what the pressure is, no matter what the other team is doing, being consistent and playing harder than the other team.
Would you say don't
People
fuck
should read-
around and fuck them up? Is the definition of toughness?
Yeah, people should read Jay Billis's
Gotta go to
article
work?
about toughness, which is pretty awesome.
Is it tough?
It's tough.
It seemed
Real
like the
tough.
Heat strategy, and I think Jason Tatum's right about like the assessment by the team, and it kind of felt like the Heat strategy in this game was like, might as well just fucking foul him. Like,
Bam just trucked Al Horford. It was like Kobe versus Pau Gasol early in that game, and it was sort of seemed like the Heat trying to be like, yeah, guys, like
we don't have the talent, but we're going to try and out tough
will
you. We're
try
going to try to out
we will
Heat
try to-
culture you.
we will try to mess you up physically. We will try to be, the harder playing team. We will do whatever it takes. And the Celtics were like, yeah, sure, but we're going to do all that stuff too, and we're just better. And from the start, like, I just thought the game plan was just like, be bigger, be tougher. They went to Jalen in the post a lot against Hero. Even Al Horford, they posted him up a number of times, whether it was on DeLon Wright.
Can we talk about that? There was a stretch there in the second quarter where Al Horford got doubled twice in the post, and it seemed like he had never been doubled in the post before ever.
Yeah.
That was kind of wild. Like, he just was like, what's going on right now?
It's been a while. And I feel like they've actually, I don't know whether it's because of him or direction from Joe. He's been more aggressive trying to beat mismatches in the post. And I feel like last year he didn't ever really try to do that. And even when a real small guard was on him, it'd be like float to the perimeter, space out, whatever. But today, when they got that mismatch, when Wright was on him, when Hero was on him, Horford went straight to the post, and he's not obviously as gifted a scorer as he used to be down there. But in the right matchup, he can still punish a smaller
if he
guard.
catches DeLon Wright in the post, like, he's going to get buckets.
He should score. And tonight he made them send help a lot, and he's a great passer from down there too. So
except for two possessions where he was bad. I have it in my notes. He got double in the post and just seemed to freak out. I think they led to turnovers.
All right, let's take a break here to hear from our sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and the most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch the winnings roll in. March may be over now, but the biggest moments in college basketball tip off this month at the Final Four. Be a part of it on the action on Prize Picks for both men and women's college basketball coming up this weekend. And you can also get in on the NBA playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level. The basketball's postseason. The playoffs begin obviously in 2 weeks, but you can get in the play-in round starting on April 16th at Prize Picks. So I know in the final couple weeks of the regular season here, one area to keep an eye on Prize Picks will be certainly with the Celtics and some of their bench players. I think going to be a lot more opportunities there for the likes of Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser of the world, while the starters rest up. So keep an eye on that. So if you want to check out Prize Picks, you can download the app today and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's CLNS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100 on Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy on Prize Picks. And now back to the show.
Celtics had a number of turnovers tonight, still won by 34, 14 turnovers.
They only had one turnover for the first quarter and change, I think. And then Jalen threw some like weird passes when they were up 20-something. And
yes, this is right.
so it felt like those turnovers were all after the game was like very much decided. Early on, they were taking care of the ball. They were getting great shots. I think they made 10 of their first 17 threes, and just kind of it was a rout from the start.
Clear MVP of the series has to be Derrick White. I think there's an argument to be made. It's Jason Tatum because he's clearly the best player.
So how can you say it's a clear MVP if there's an argument to be made for someone else?
Just because you can make an argument doesn't mean it's the right argument.
Clear means there should be no argument otherwise.
Opaque, maybe. Translucent.
Isn't translucent clear? You just use two fucking synonyms.
No, opaque is the exact opposite, is an antonym.
But translucent and clear are the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of saying out words here because you caught me in a good one, and I'm trying to kind of get out of that. Basically, I was just trying to transition to talk about Derrick White. Your thoughts?
I mean, White was unbelievable.
He was fantastic.
He was unbelievable. And it just, this whole year he has been a difference for them. You know, Kristaps Porzingis obviously helped a lot, though he'll be out for probably the entirety of the next series, maybe the entirety of the next series. Drew Holiday fit really well and continues to do his role every single night, regardless of how many shots he takes. But Derrick White, like on a team of guys who are asked to sacrifice, they were like, Derrick White, we need you to do more.
Yeah.
We want you to play more. We want you to shoot more. We want you to have the ball in your hands more. We want you in the closing lineup every single night. And I feel like by asking him to do more, by forcing him to do more, it's just really lifted him to another level because he has more confidence than ever. And obviously the 3-point shot has really come around. But it's just the assertiveness, the sure nature of everything he does. It's just like he doesn't go up and down anymore. It's just Derrick White is going to be there. Derrick White is going to be doing a lot. Derrick White is going to be a major factor for them every single night. And just his development the last 2 years has just been really impressive.
Could you imagine him taking 10 threes in a game in the finals run 2 years ago?
25 threes he took in the last 2 games.
And like you just feel kind of confident with any time he's shooting like step backs, whatever it is. You're just confident in what he's doing and getting into the paint, making things happen. I think another thing that stood out to me about this series was just the Celtics depth in like the lineup: Peyton Pritchard, Derrick White, Tatum, Hauser, and Horford. So 3 bench guys, and then Tatum and White. I just thought it was like phenomenal for the entire series.
It was dominant.
And
they really dominated those minutes.
And so there's not a moment, like I guess maybe we'll see it more without Kristaps of how much they have to lean on Luke Cornett.
I thought Luke was good tonight too.
I thought he was good too, but there's and we'll see what happens moving forward against whoever they face. But with that top 8 in the rotation, there's not a moment where they have a weak lineup on the court. And I thought they really punished the Heat in this series when they went to lineups without Bam or just went to kind of deeper into their bench. The Celtics just have such an advantage there of having, and that lineup specifically, I think is their strongest bench lineup. It's just so much shooting. Peyton Pritchard with the like defensive pressure. It's just extremely talented, can switch 1 through 5 if they need to. I think there's just a super advantage for the Celtics where for 48 minutes, they're not going to have a weak lineup.
Yeah, and we'll see how that progresses later in the playoffs. I don't know if Cleveland or Orlando could like.
Do they have the personnel to like take advantage of Luke Cornett?
That's my point. I don't know if they do. Probably not. But Joe Mazzulla said a number of times throughout this series, like playoff basketball is the same as regular season basketball. Basically,
liar,
like the bench,
liar.
But basically, like I'm still going to trust my bench. I still think they'll be really good. I just think they will be tested. That group will be tested. So far, it's been great. In the Miami series, it was great, but they were playing against like Patty Mills. And
What a pest Patty Mills is. I thought he was going to get more minutes tonight. They started the second half, was very annoying, but bad coaching by Spo not to start.
He's like a smaller Kyle Lowry. Like
Imagine if he could make
they got
shots.
rid of Kyle Lowry and just like Patty Mills.
Yeah.
You're the next Lowry.
And looking at it, he was a -20 tonight. Well, everyone on the roster was kind of a.
And there was one
negative.
play when he got matched up against Tatum in transition. Drew just threw it over the top, and it was such an easy bucket. So they were able to take advantage of Patty a little bit, even though he is a pest.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's just not a very good Heat team. I mean, they're talented, they're well coached, they play hard, but they just had no option. Like, they haven't been tested. The Celtics defense really has not been tested with like an efficient half court offense. If they end up playing the Magic, it's going to be a similar thing in the next series. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland have had some great games against the Celtics, are more of a scoring threat. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jared Allen's injury, because I think the Cavs offense is a little bit better when they have one big on the court. But we shall see. I still don't even think the Cavs is like an extremely talented offense that's going to test the Celtics defense here. But you got to give the Celtics credit. Other than game 2, where the Heat shot the shit out of the ball, made more threes in that game than the rest of the series, the Celtics took care of business here.
Let's look ahead a little bit to the next series. Obviously, we'll do it more once we know who the Celtics are playing. But to me, it's like, especially without Porzingis, Celtics just got a really good draw.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Cavs just seem like a team that is still either trying to figure itself out or like stopped trying to figure itself out a while ago, because they're like, we don't really like doing this together very much. They had an incredible stretch during the middle of the season where I think they went 18-2, but that was with smaller lineups. That was with, I believe, Evan Mobley was out, and they had a different identity back then. They've kind of struggled to find an identity with Mobley and Allen together. I thought it might have actually helped that Allen missed the last game. So I just don't think they're like a team that will really, really test the Celtics, although Mitchell and Garland can just be a handful as a backcourt. And then the Magic will play their fucking asses off and will be a tenacious defensive team. I think that could be some rock fight type games if they end up playing each other. I agree, but at the end of the day, I just don't think they have enough offense. I don't think they have enough shooting.
The entire last 5 minutes of the game against the Cavs, basically, it was just like, Paolo, go do something. And I think the Celtics can build up a defense against that, and it's like force someone other than him to make shots or force him to make really tough shots. Like, I don't know what their offensive strategy is, just because they don't have a lot of shooting against the Celtics. So, like, pack the paint, don't let Paolo, or let Paolo get his and like cling to shooters. I don't know what the exact defensive strategy is here.
Don't let Paolo and Franz overpower you near the rim. Don't let them straight line drive you, and just live with the threes from those guys. So it seems like a very good draw for the Celtics. Obviously, it was the Heat, but it was a Heat without Jimmy Butler. It was a Heat with a super undermanned roster, and just feels like the Kristaps injury was kind of good timing for that. That, you know, he's based on the average time lost for the injury that he has, will probably miss just about the whole second round. Might be able to come back, like, if it's a long series, or maybe for the early in the Eastern Conference Finals. But it just feels like they can get through the next series without him.
Yeah.
They won't really need him in that series. They're going to need him later on, and it's really important for him to get healthy for later on. But I don't think they have to rush him back. I don't think that, like, they're really going to get tested in the next round. They won't get tested until they see either New York, Philly, or maybe Milwaukee. If Milwaukee
can pull off some craziness,
gets their guys back,
or if Pat Bev just goes off. Folks, it is time for the NBA playoffs, and that is exciting. And if you want to get in the building to watch the Boston Celtics, you got to go to Game Time. Game Time is the authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier. Prices on Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, and views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. Game Time has last-minute deals. You can save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater tickets. If you want to go see some stand-up, I've used Game Time. I went and saw Dan Soder at the Wilbur Theater. fantastic stuff on Game Time. They have flash deals, zone deals, all in pricing, and you can see seat views from wherever you're sitting. They have a lowest price guarantee, and that's why you need to take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Go to the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create that account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I know you got to go right.
Let's go 5 more minutes. Fuck it.
5 more
Fuck
minutes. Let's do it. What do you want to talk about? Mike Gorman.
Yeah, we got to talk about Mike.
That was it's like very cool moment. Kind of sad I wasn't be able to watch the broadcast, but him getting a standing O at the end of the game. Like watching everyone on Twitter just like talking about his sign off. I'm sure it was like absolutely legendary. Saw Joe Mazzulla go over there and give him like a handshake. It was just cool. Kind of maybe it's good that Celtics lost game 2, so they got one more game with Mike Gorman at the Garden. Is a tweet I saw and just repeated to you.
That's a great tweet.
Yeah,
it's a great tweet. Honestly, it's going to be weird not having Gorman around, not having him call games. Some of my earliest memories are of watching Mike Gorman call Celtics games.
Yeah.
Like the Xavier McDaniel teams in the early 1990s when they sucked and they were so fucking bad. And Gorman and Tommy Heinsohn had to be amazing to make those broadcasts like come to life.
Yeah.
And like even back then, far before I knew him, like he just felt like your friend when you were watching games. And there's just like a familiar feeling that Mike Gorman produced between himself and
he's the first like parasocial relationship. Like people probably listen to our podcast and think they know us pretty well, and like, but like he's the first guy before podcast, before anything like that, where he's just like you feel like you kind of know him. And I'm not really a member of the media, but he's always just like the nicest guy like in the hallways around here, and would just like shoot the shit with you if you happen to be sitting with him at dinner. And so just like an institution, and it's gonna be very weird when he's no longer here.
Yeah. And it brings back like the memories of Tommy, and I thought it was cool. Jared and I did a story on Mike that we'll publish tomorrow at The Athletic, or today when you guys are listening. But basically all he wanted to talk about when he was interviewed was Tommy.
Yeah.
And so it's just like keeping Tommy's memory alive, and like their partnership was just amazing. A duo that just kind of stood the test of time. Like they were together forever. It felt like did some bad years, did some great years, and just kept Celtics basketball fun throughout that whole time. And so
I'm glad they got the ship in 2008. Hopefully they can send Mike out with a championship this year. Selfishly, to transition, after the game, I made this decision in the first quarter. I decided I was going to go to the Heat press conferences. And it was a lot of fun watching sad Eric Spoelstra, sad Tyler Hero, and sad Bam Adebayo just have to talk through.
Adebayo?
That's a good one. I should have said that.
Eric O'Nolstra?
Terrible. Do one for Tyler Hero now. Tyler Zero. Nailed it. Do you think it would have been bad if I asked a question about Heat culture in the press conference that only had 3 journalists in it?
I think if you had,
I would have got my credentials stripped for the rest of the playoffs.
It would have been okay for Eric Spoelstra to murder you on the spot.
I was going to be like, we hear a lot about Heat culture when you guys are winning. How does Heat culture respond to a series like this? I think that's a legitimate question.
That actually would have been a fine question.
Yeah. I thought I'm here in a mocking tone. It's not really my place to be asking a question mocking the players at the end of their season, but I wanted to.
Yeah, no, that would have been a fair question. That
maybe I should just let it fly, you know?
And yeah, it's especially when you don't know how, like you don't have
I had no grasp on and no relationship
how
with
they
those
are
people.
after losses,
Yeah.
how they would be. Like, not to ask certain guys certain questions given the situation.
It would have been high risk, high reward.
It would have been great.
Coward's
great
way.
Content for the podcast.
What?
If you were really a content man, you would have done it. But instead, you're just out there fucking with tarot card.
I took many photos of the thing, shared them with the chat. I was there creating content, visual content. I just didn't create audio visual content.
Honestly, you got to go above and beyond sometimes.
I've been going above and beyond.
Yeah, you have. You have.
And we're going to continue going above and beyond because this is the best goddamn Celtics podcast. Tomorrow on the podcast, I'm so looking forward to having this conversation. Coley Mick is joining us, and he is going to gloat and talk some shit about the Miami Heat, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to come back with another podcast either on Friday or Saturday, previewing the next series. We'll be back here for game 1, game 2, every single game of the postseason with recaps for you guys, podcasts in between. It's going to be an amazing playoff run, and we appreciate the kids, the gods, and the legends for joining us. I got a lot of random junk notes, but I'll save that for tomorrow with Coley. I do have to mention Al Horford flinched at a fun moment.
That was a good one.
It was a pretty good flinch. Maybe I don't have to bring up the one about the hero among us.
Oh, you can do that.
Okay, hero among us.
I had beef with the hero among us.
Max Angel, 7-year-old.
You don't have to say his fucking name.
We'll
He's
bleep
a 7-year-old kid.
Okay.
God damn it.
We'll call him Brad Devil then. He's his teacher, his pregnant teacher, like has a seizure or something, and he's an alert kid. He's on the ball. He's like, I need to go get the nurse. Here's where I have the issue. He grabbed a hall pass to go and run and go to the nurse. That feels like valuable moments wasted. If it's an emergency,
He's a rule follower.
you just run to get the nurse.
No,
you don't need to grab the hall
Okay.
pass.
So
What's your beef with Brad Devil?
I thought the nurse who actually helped deserved to be the
Yeah,
hero.
but that's her job. He went above and beyond. He did something beyond expectations.
So the hall pass situation shows me he's just a cut above.
No, because it was a wasted time. What if that wasted time was the difference between life or death?
Okay. You're looking at this the wrong way. Well, this kid was 7 years old. 7 years old. Most 7-year-olds are not able to focus on shit. Most 7-year-olds are totally self-interested.
Oh, I'm
Most 7-year-olds
nitpicking
don't
the
give
performance.
a damn about the teacher. Meanwhile, this kid is so locked in that he's able to go and inform the nurse of what happened.
And travel
And
the
not only
hallways
that-
in a legal
not only
manner.
that, but he got the fucking hall pass. This kid is a superstar. This kid is an absolute legend. I take it back. It was not the nurse who was the hero. The nurse was a hero too. But Max Angel.
Oh, now you're saying his name?
Max Angel.
Now you're
Max
saying
Angel is a worthy hero, my friends. Max Angel, salute to you. Max.
I'm glad there was
motherfucking Angel. That kid is someone to bet on. That kid is someone to bet on.
I'm glad there was one worthy hero on the court tonight.
Can you imagine like being in that?
That was a
level-
great line
in
about
that
Kyler
level of-
Hero, and you just ignored it.
being in that level of stress and your teacher goes down and you have the awareness and the poise to grab the hall pass. What if
What?
he hadn't grabbed the hall pass
And someone
Then
stopped
maybe-
him?
Then maybe the principal stops him. Then maybe
And he
then maybe
doesn't-
the teacher passes away in that valuable time. You never know how that decision to get the hall pass actually saved a person's life. Max Angel, God bless him.
I think it's a questionable decision. Overall, great work, but I think you can go back and look at the tape and maybe improve next time your teacher passes out. Get to the nurse's office a little faster. That's all I'm saying. But I'm glad we discussed it. I'm glad we have this kind of a discussion, and really figured things out here.
You know who's not a hero? You.
What'd
You
I do
didn't
this
take her to a
time?
sports bar, you moron.
Oh, what girl wants to go to a sports bar?
You went to a bar anyway. Just make it a bar with TV.
Oh, so I'm
Doesn't
supposed to
have
be
Tony
supposed to be
C's or
talking to
something.
this girl and then also keeping my eyes on Nick's Sixers the entire time. That's not a very engaging first date. How
do you
have you
think-
impressed any woman in your entire life if you've just been watching basketball? It's a shock that you were married and procreated.
I think it's just a testament to being a man Real men.
Oh, real men don't pay attention to women.
Real
They just
men
watch
would have said,
basketball.
hey, tarot card lover,
I didn't
we're
know.
going to watch. We're going to a bar with TVs because there are fucking games on, and I'm not going to pay 100% attention to the games, but I want to at least be able to look up and see if it gets close and see the score. It's just an embarrassment. You're not a
didn't
man.
know.
No wonder she doesn't like you.
Who said that?
I did. Because you're not a man. She's like, this fucking guy, NBA playoffs, and he didn't even want to go somewhere with TVs. What a beta.
I just think you're speaking out of school here.
What
You
a
don't
beta.
know. You don't know the situation.
She told me that you're a beta.
She told you, she contacted you.
She put it in the
I didn't know Tyrese Maxey was going to score 7 points in 30 seconds. How am I supposed to know that?
That's the thing. You never know. But you always have to pay attention just because you never know. That's why you always have to be like me.
Came forward and admitted my mistake. I was embracing my own failure. It's part of having a growth mindset. It's part of being a Kaizen warrior. It's acknowledging your failure and committing to getting better. Tomorrow night, I'll be watching the game. Friday night, I'll be watching the game. Saturday night, I'll be watching the games. And so, hand up, I fucked up. I drafted Jahlil Okafor over, what's that quote that Big Cat always says from Jim Calhoun? Oh, okay. I fucked up even more by bringing it up. I'm sorry. Let's just end the podcast. I feel like now you're just looking at me.
I don't know what the Jahlil Okafor quote is. Maybe a Mecca Okafor, you mean?
A Mecca Okafor. Yeah. Now do you know the quote?
No, but I do know who played for Jim Calhoun. It wasn't Jahlil. That's just sad. You don't even know which Okafor played for UConn.
I did know. I just said the wrong one. A quick Google. I fucked up. I took Emeka Okafor and Karan Butler. They're not bad. Jim Calhoun quote.
That's a good quote.
All right, we got to go, folks. Jay apparently has to. It was badgering me before. Like, we got to keep the podcast short. I got to go right. And now
5 minutes, and then you went on for fucking hours. Let's wrap it up.
I went on. You went on a fucking rant about Max Angel and then just lampooning me about my dating strategy. If you wanted to be brevity short, you could have ended this podcast hours ago.
I got to finish my story. Let's go.
Okay, let's do this. Folks, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back shortly with more Still Poddable.
Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable.